Once upon a time, in the heart of the scorching desert, there lived a proud and haughty camel. This camel was known throughout the desert for his big belly and his even bigger ego. He would strut around the oasis, his head held high, believing himself to be the king of the desert. One day, while the camel was taking one of his many naps under the shade of a date palm tree, he noticed a small goat chewing on some leaves nearby. The camel had always despised goats, and so, without any reason whatsoever, he decided to tease the poor creature. "Hey, you stupid goat!" the camel called out, his voice dripping with sarcasm. "Why don't you come over here and let me scratch that back of yours? It looks like it's covered with all sorts of parasites." The goat looked up from his meal, startled by the camel's sudden outburst. He shook his head in annoyance and went back to eating, completely ignoring the camel's provocation. This only fueled the camel's anger. "Hey, did you hear what I said?" "You stupid animal! I want you to come over here right now," the camel demanded, his eyes flashing with irritation. But the goat was not one to be intimidated. He calmly chewed on his leaf, occasionally glancing at the agitated camel, clearly showing that he wasn't going to comply with the camel's demands. This silence and the goat's apparent disregard for the camel's status enraged the camel even more. So much so that he stood up, took a few menacing steps towards the goat, and butted him with his sharp and sturdy horn. But the goat was prepared for the camel's attack. With nimble agility, he dodged the horn and kicked the camel in the stomach with his strong hind legs. "Moo!" The goat bleated, and it sounded like a battle cry. He continued to dodge the camel's attacks while taunting him with gentle kicks. The camel, caught off guard by the goat's swiftness and strength, stumbled back, surprised by the turn of events. He had never been challenged like this before. Seeing an opportunity to teach the camel a lesson, the goat leaped onto the camel's back and started to ride him like a horse. He shouted, "Get up, you big bully, and take me to your leader. I want to tell him how arrogant and nasty you are." The camel, humiliated and furious, tried to shake the goat off his back, but the little goat just held on tighter. As the camel ran around the oasis, desperately trying to dislodge the goat, the other animals watched in amusement. They had all suffered under the camel's tyranny for a long time, and it was about time someone stood up to him. Exhausted and defeated, the camel finally collapsed on the ground, with the goat still firmly on his back. When the other animals gathered around him, the camel tried to explain that it was all just a big misunderstanding, but the goat wouldn't allow him to speak. He proclaimed, "You have tormented us for too long with your bullying and your false sense of superiority. From now on, you will be known as the scared camel who can't even handle a small goat." And so, from that day forward, the camel never teased or belittled any of the other animals again. He learned a valuable lesson about humility and respect. And the goat, well, he became a local hero. The animals of the oasis celebrated their newfound freedom from the camel-esque tyranny, and they all lived happily ever after, except for the camel. He spent the rest of his days alone, nursing his wounds and his bruised ego. A constant reminder of the day. A small goat outsmarted and defeated him. The end.